Children, welcome once again for the online classes. Let us continue the chapter. Today is the fourth video of the same chapter, Federalism. So let us continue and see what what paragraph we are going to take and what is the topic. Decentralization in India. Let us see what is this decentralization in India. Previous videos we have seen the first tier system, second tier system, and this is the third. India is a vast country and cannot be run only through a two tier system. Yes, it is true. India is very big country and it cannot be run through two tiers. That means the central government and the state government. So there was a change. Since India is very vast and it cannot be run only through the two tiers, state of India are very large and internally very diverse. States in India are as large as independent countries of Europe. So it is state in India are as large as independent country of Europe. That means our population is more, and what population we are having of the state, like that population is of other country outside or countries of Europe. Federal power sharing in India needs another tier of government below that of the state government. Thus, there is a need of power sharing within each state. So, seeing the population and seeing the need of other tier below that of the state government, thus there is a need of power sharing within each state. So power sharing is needed within each state. When power is taken away from the central and the state government and given to the local government, it is called decentralization. That means the power from the central to the state and to the local government, so that the work can be done smoothly. So it is called decentralization. The basic idea behind decentralization is that there are large number of problems and issues which are best settled at the local level. Yes, we can just see if we have a problems or issues in the local level, how can we approach the center and the state government. So we have to whenever any issues or problems, the from the groundwood level, the problem goes to the higher level. If any problem in the village or in the local areas, if we have, where we will be going, we will be going to the local level only. After that we will be, so the basic idea behind decentralization is that there are large number of problems and issues which are the which are best settled at the local level. So now let us see here what is local government. There is a third tier of government called local government. What is the third tier here? First we have seen, second we have seen, and here the local government, that is the third tier. Local government is the third tier. They are called, there is a third tier of government called local government. The local government includes panchayats in the village, municipalities in the urban areas, but election were held regularly and local governments were not given any power by the state government. So, a major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. So, a major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. The constitution was amended to make the three tier of government or power and executive. The provisions made in the constitution for the effective local government are. So now Amendment, what is the meaning of the constitution was amended? So amended means change. Amended means change in the constitution. The constitution was amended to make the three tier of democracy. So the whatever change in the constitution is done, that is known as amendment. So amendment means change. So that is also a very long process, and whenever it is very necessary, then only we can touch the constitution. We know our constitution is a written constitution. So we can just see the effective local governments are, first point, it is continuously mandatory to hold regular election to the local government bodies. So there will be a regular election to local bodies. Seats are reserved in the elected bodies and the executive heads and their institution for the scheduled caste, that is SCs and STs, scheduled tribes, caste and the backward, beside women. So SCs, STs and OBCs and women's. At least one third of all the portions are reserved for women. So one third of the portions are reserved for the women. The state election, that is SEC, has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal election. So in the each state election, that is SEC has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal election. Panchayati Raj and Raj system. Panchayati Raj system. In India, rural local government is popularly known as the Panchayati Raj. So the rural local government is called what? Known as Panchayati Raj. Each village or group of the village in some states has Gram Panchayat. This is a council consisting of several wards. So Gram Panchayat, this is a council consisting of several wards, means groups, several wards. Members, Panch and the president, Sarpanch, and they are directly elected by the adult population of ward or village. So these are the adult, means those who are adult person, those who are in the village area only, those who are the elderly people, they are elected population of that ward or village. Ward number 1, 2, 3, like that. The area is divided into wards or villages. It works under the supervision of Gram Sabha. So that works under the supervision of Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha meets at the least twice or thrice in a year to approach annual budget and revive the performance of Gram Panchayat. A few Gram Panchayats are grouped together to form a Panchayat Samiti or block or mandal. The members of this representatives bodies are elected by the Panchayat member in that area. So in this system, the Panchayat members are elected. Now let us see what is Jilla Parishad. All the Panchayat Samiti, now how the Panchayat Samiti was elected, now all this Panchayat Samiti in a district together constitute the Jilla or district. Jilla or district. Parishad, most of the member of the Jilla Parishad are elected. Moreover, member of Lok Sabha, that is MLAs of that district, and some other officials of their district level bodies are also its member. Jilla Parishad chairperson is its political head. So who is the Jilla Parishad chairperson? Is the political head of Jilla Parishad. Now let us see what is here municipalities. A big city that we were talking last paragraph, that was about the village. Now here we are talking about the municipalities. A big city, there are municipal corporation. Both the local government bodies are controlled or elected bodies consisting of the people representatives, municipal chairperson in the political head of the municipality. So here we have seen they are controlled by elected body consisting of people's representatives, municipal chairperson in the political heads of municipality. Mayor is the political head of the municipal corporation. Overall, there are about 36 lakh elected representatives in the panchayats and municipalities, and one third of them are women, which increased women's voice in our democracy. So, the women are also given chance, that is, one third of them are the women, which increase the women's voice in democracy, as we are living in a democratic country. Here, an experiment in Brazil, you have there a small paragraph I gave that you can read and see what is in Brazil. Now, the constitutional status of local government. Constitutional status of our local government has helped to deepen. What is the importance of constitutional status of local government? Why this local government was implemented, or why it came into force? That is known as the third tier, and it has helped in what way? Constitutional status for local government has helped to deepen democracy in our country. So, since India is a democratic country, this status of local government has helped to deepen democracy in our country. Most state government have not transferred significant power to the local government and have not given accurate resources to them. We are still a long way from realizing. So that's all for today's video. This is the last video for this chapter. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow I'll be giving PDF and summary of this chapter. Tomorrow's PDF I'll give, and on Saturday you will be getting the question answer. So that's all, and from Monday onwards I'll be taking the revision for the midterm portion. So children, be ready. Whatever revision I'll be giving, some of the question answers I'll give, some of the short answers I'll give. So please revise that all thing what I'll be taking from Monday onwards. So that's all for this chapter. Thank you.